That's life. That's what people say. You can be flying high in April, shot down in May. I ain't gonna let it get me down, as long as this big old world keeps us spinning round. Don't you know that's life? Hey baby, yeah, that's what people say. They'd be flying high in April, shot down in May. I ain't gonna let it get me down, as long as this big old world keeps us spinning round. I've been a puppet, a pirate, a pauper, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and around. I learned one thing each time I find myself falling flat on my face. I just pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life. Hey baby, funny how it may seem, I've seen people get their kicks stomping on a dream. I ain't gonna let it get me down, as long as this big old world keeps us spinning round. Hey, don't you know that's life, baby? As long as this big old world keeps us spinning round. Yeah, baby, I ain't gonna let it get me down. I've been a puppet, a pirate, a pauper, a poet, a pawn, and a king.
welcome to Coffee with Curmudgeons, back from a long hiatus. I am Doc Normal. And over here is...
Oh, hey, how's everyone
Jason
doing?
Allen.
We are back. See, we've been kind of on a, kind of like a summer vacation, right? School's out, everything's kind of summer vacation. But today we decided we're going to come in and do a staycation right here.
Staycation?
Staycation right here live.
Staycation never sounded very good to me.
Well,
Are we loud enough, you think?
Yeah, I'm in my ear, I'm
maybe
good.
my headphones. Or maybe I'm just stuffed up or something. Oops.
Oh.
Maybe we're getting...
Yeah, so hello, everybody.
Greetings, everyone.
Welcome, one and all. And so we're here to entertain you for a while. We had some little tech issues.
Oh, my God.
That is taken care of. Everything is...
OMG.
Like, oh my God.
OMFG. So
Like
what happened is, it was a hiatus for reasons. Oh, good. An ant's running on a laptop. That's what we want. It's ant season.
That's right. Here in the
ant
studio.
season.
I'll come in next show with like an ant costume, and I'll just be sitting here and...
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Something's...
We're getting messaged.
Yeah.
People
okay.
are like, hey,
here's what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Doc Normal is mute your laptop. There we go. That's a good idea.
There's a fix.
So what happened? Long hiatus, and I don't want to really get into that too much. Let's just say it was mostly it was kind of personal reason. We should have just said something. I mean, I was, but then I was intending to do the show, and
just stuff's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into it on this show too much.
Right.
But I had a passing of a close friend.
Yes.
And that kind of...
Yep.
And there'll be more on that later.
Right, yeah.
Down the road. A friend of the show and a friend of mine. So, but anyway, so then we're back.
We're back.
And then what happens? What happens, Jason, when you come back to do a show?
Well, Mr. Murphy is going to throw a monkey wrench into the whole situation.
Everything. Every single thing.
I've got a theory on this.
Yeah.
The switchers and everything, they were mad at you.
Yeah, they were.
They were mad at you. We hadn't done it in a while, and they said, hey, you just can't want us when you want us.
Wander in and turn on the equipment and do a show, right?
Right, yeah. But tech knowledge wins the day.
Yeah.
Doc gets it up and running. He MacGyvered it with some chewing gum and some pipe cleaners, and we're good to go.
Well, we were planning. We were like, okay, we're gonna do a show. Great, excellent.
Yeah.
We need to come back.
Yeah.
We need to get back in the swing of things.
Yeah.
And then what happened was, and then I said, let's push it back. Give me a little time because I'm gonna be rushing around and things are,
Yeah.
And you did, and we did,
Yeah.
and so we came in here, got everything rehooked up. I think I was still hooking up when you came in.
Yeah.
Right. And so we're like, okay, so everything's hooked back up. Everything's hooked proper. Everything's labeled, by the way. You don't just do something complicated and not label things and stuff.
Gotta.
It's not like, oh, you plugged in the wrong thing. No. It's all labeled. It goes, this goes here, that goes there.
We see you do it because you're professional.
Yeah.
I do it because I legitimately I can't tell which is which.
Well,
so I just like, what's this? Well, you got to label it. So okay, this goes there.
Well, that's what you do. I mean, if you are professional, that's what you do because you can't just rely on memory and it's complicated and there's lots of wires and where does this go and what if someone's helping you? It's like, where does this go? Where does this go?
Right.
That's how we do things.
Okay.
House of Sound.
Yeah, things are labeled now down there.
Anyway, that was another thing, but so did that right? Mm-hmm. Plenty of time, and fired everything up, and just had this weird technical issue.
Yeah,
that has never happened here before.
General befuddlement filled the room. Yeah,
yeah, and it was just like, that's new, and it's which is the last thing you want to hear Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin say as they're landing on the moon. Huh, what's that? That's new, right?
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of what happened.
One large step for, hey, that's something new.
Yeah, no, but that's actually somewhat kind of, if you go back to the history, because last month was 51 years.
Yeah. Yeah, 51,
50, or is it 40? Did we hit the big 50? I think it was last year. But anyway, July is always...
Oh, Man on the Moon stuff? Oh, it's coming up. Wasn't it? Or is it already here?
1969. 69. Do your math. It's
48 years. Do your math. Public school math. Don't let me down.
How many years was that? 1961. And it's... Let me do this in my head here. It's 1969, right? And what year is it? 2018. Yeah. So...
You know what the really...
I'm running out of fingers, Jason.
The funny, peculiar, sad, and pathetic thing is I was born in 69. So it's like, what is it? Oh, gosh. Somewhere
so
right
every
now,
time Bill and Ted's, it's like 69, dude.
Right. Right.
Oh, my word. I just like... it's the heat.
It is.
Yeah. No, I should know very well because of my birth and all of that and the whole thing and gosh, even numbers 1969, 2018. How long ago was that?
Right.
So, so it's next year.
Yeah. Will
be the big moment. And that better be a big celebration.
If you pan down, you can see me counting on my toes. 4, 5.
But it did happen.
It did. They
were actually in the LEM, the Lunar Expedition Module, I think it stands for, or something like that.
Yeah.
And they were going down, Sea of Tranquility or whatever it was. I think it's Sea of Tranquility was their plan.
That was.
They were heading down. This is where we're going to land, and they were going down, and the computer goes off. Error. Like here, it was like, that's not working. They're landing on the moon for the first time, right?
Not when you want to see error messages.
No. Computer's erroring out. And along with that, Neil Armstrong, because he's there, he just happened to look out the window. Like, when you're driving, it's like, oh, what's that?
Yeah.
And sees a whole bunch of boulders where they're going to land.
Right.
Like big rocks.
Right.
And he basically looks over and tells Buzz, I'm not landing there. We're not landing where we're planning on landing. And NASA's like, what do you mean? We planned this out. It's like, we're not landing there. And so he's trucking down the road. I want to find a good place. The computer's going off, and you know what that means, right? Fuel. They're using fuel. And, this is timed down to the second of how much fuel you have to land on the moon. And there's a certain point where you say, you have a point where, we abort.
Yeah.
We're not landing on the moon today or ever, maybe, because we got to go, right? This is our one chance, but...
right. You got to figure out whether they're going to do a U-turn or not.
And it turns out the computer problem was a software. They said it was a software glitch, but I read the whole, technical explanation. Okay, cool thing is, if you're really nerdy, really technical, you can go up to NASA archives and you can actually read the post-mortem interviews with all of the crew. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Mike Collins.
Oh, I'd love to hear Buzz. He cusses like a sailor, so I'm pretty sure that was colorful.
It's a NASA report.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure they ixnayed on the whatever.
Yeah.
But it's actually the interviews and their transcripts, right? And they were classified, all this stuff. Why, I don't know. And they're all released in the archives.
They classified everything back in those days.
We don't want those Ruskies to know how to land on the moon,
right? We want them to land on the rocks. We're not going to tell them where.
But I've read the transcripts of this, and then I read specifically the transcripts of when because they go through the entire timeline of the mission. I mean, it's a debriefing. It's like they're in the room with the bright lights and the microphone and all the NASA. They successfully landed on the moon, right? Yeah. You'd think if you and I were like Buzz and Neil,
the USS Curmudgeon takes off towards the moon.
Yeah. Well, we got our show graphic.
Elon, you watching this?
Yeah. Doc and Jason.
Sure.
Landing on the moon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We come back and we'd just be like, it would be champagne, like, whoa!
Right.
Yeah, It'd be like some friends from, down the street at the dance club. I don't know,
Sure.
Funny hats.
Studio 54
I mean, it was the 60s, too. So
it was
the
60s.
And then the NASA guys would sit down and go, okay, gentlemen, we're going to be for the next 5 days, we're going to be doing the full mission debriefing.
Right.
We'd be like, what? We landed on the moon. Who cares? We just did it.
Right.
Yeah. Right? Party.
And then what happened?
Cigars, smoking.
Like, you know, we landed on the moon.
Yeah.
And then what?
I totally forgot after that.
Right, I don't know.
That would be us. It would be like...
Played a round of golf, you know.
Yeah, it was... that was Alan Shepard.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd just be like, I don't know, dude. What? We landed on the moon. Yeah. Did you see it? We landed on the moon.
Yeah, if you saw it,
what
you know
more do you want to know? Yeah.
What do you want to know? Like, dude...
Luckily, they hired the best and the brightest of the engineers and people to actually go to the moon.
That's right. They see our pictures, and underneath the banner headline, "The Right Stuff."
Yeah. Well, hence that's why everyone always complains about Neil Armstrong as not being a very eloquent individual, right?
Yeah.
A man of few words.
Yeah.
A pure engineer.
Yeah.
A pure engineer. That's really his background. And anyone who like really studies space, it was like he was the right stuff. He was the right guy at the right time because he was flying that thing, and actually he really pretty much got picked because he flew that thing the best out of all the guys, and all those guys were the best of the best.
Right.
So you're pretty much like
former test pilots.
Yeah, we're picking the best of the best, right? You know. And it's funny because we never knew at the time when it happened and years later, but at the very end when he goes, you know, Tranquility Base here, the Eagle has landed.
Yeah.
Oh, can I even do that on a...
Little,
yeah, I don't know.
Little sound effects?
I don't know.
Sweet.
I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's sound effects time.
It'd be like, Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
I would totally botch it though, because I'd be like, moon, echo.
He botched.
Yeah.
There's the controversy about him botching the first line.
Which device or contact do you want to call?
We would like to call Neil Armstrong.
I couldn't find "Where's my to call Neil Armstrong" in your list of contacts or devices.
It's okay. Echo, thank you. I like how
Anytime.
I like how now, like we've had all these technical problems.
And she starts
but the Echo's like, hey, forget about me. Right, forget about me. I'm here.
Right.
You know? Huh? So he had the engineering, he had all that and the stuff, and he studied all that, like they all did, because you could easily just crash on the moon and that would be American world disaster.
Yeah, there are no second takes. You got to get it right the first time. Everything's got to go right to the nanosecond, or it's just not going to work. And then by not working, by the way, you guys just aren't coming home again, and you're going to be, you know.
Not unlike live streaming your show on the internet.
Hey now. Yes.
Because if it doesn't go off, Missy, you're not coming home.
That's right. That's right. The last image she's going to see of me is my face right in the grill going, Houston, we got a problem.
Exactly.
And it fades to black. And then,
But anyway, so he lands on the moon. And I can't remember what it was said to be a computer glitch, but the whole deal is that when you read through the transcripts, it's actually doing what it was supposed to be doing. Okay. But then because it was busy doing that, it overran the computer. Like, you know, like when your Windows, it's like, it's not respond. What are you doing? Or if you're on a Mac and you get the beach ball, and you're like, I'm trying to land on the moon. This is not a good time for a beach ball, Tim Cook.
Of course, this is 69, so the best they can do with technology is like a pinball machine tilt sign that goes up, blinking tilt.
What was it? What was it? Was an error 401, or what was the moon computer error? It's famous. I should know this off the top of my head. Yeah. Apollo Guidance Computer, the AGC. It had like 4 kilobytes of memory in it. I mean,
which is huge at the time, right?
No, my dad's first calculator, I believe, was more powerful than the guidance computer in the LEM that landed on the moon.
Right. Yeah.
Because essentially it was a calculator. Like it was like put in the numbers.
Right.
Because these dudes, these dudes, you'd seen the movie Apollo 13, right?
Oh, sure.
Tom Hanks. Come on. It's a good movie. It's a good Ron Howard.
Yeah.
You know.
And there's Clint sitting behind, you know, because he's in Houston.
Clint is great in that movie.
Yeah. He's probably got the cigarette, you know.
Oh yeah,
ash like halfway
No, it was
down.
really it was a well done Hollywood movie. I know that story. There's a documentary that came out several years before that they made. NASA made a documentary on it, and it's almost
was that From Earth to the Moon?
No. That one was called Houston, We Have a Problem.
Oh,
it's just if you watched it in science class or some weird, or it's probably on YouTube, and it's actually a documentary of all that stuff, and there's a lot of scenes in that documentary that years later, after I saw Ron Howard's movie about Apollo 13, it was like, oh wow, they kind of like they maybe watched that documentary a little bit because there's scenes in there, but anyway, but you know, there's a scene in there where like they're doing the math on the pad, right? They're trying to like recalculate their fuel and their entry point, and at some point he's like, okay, help me out with this math here. I can't do it. And I'm thinking, wow, you know, and then they're calling back to Houston to check his numbers, right? Yeah. Check the numbers. It's like, and then they're all like several guys are like with slide rules going, no, yeah, okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
We'd be screwed, dude. We would just be like,
I would.
We'd be like, Alexa, can you help us out here?
It'd be like a game show to think like, Houston. They're like, show us your figures. You know, Doc turns his little chalkboard around that's got all these equations on it. And I go, Jason, what did you come up with? And I turn my chalkboard around. It's got like a picture of a tree and a cat.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it would just be like.
Are you expecting math?
I wonder if the Amazon if it does math.
I don't know.
That would be interesting.
We should ask her.
We could. So it was a 1202 error.
Ooh.
And here's the headline comes up. The code that took America to the moon was just published on GitHub. This was from 2016, July. So GitHub is where programmers publish and store their open source code, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They
GitHub.
Brainstorm and sounding board.
In fact, they were just acquired by Microsoft. Big money.
Yeah.
I believe it was Microsoft. That was big tech news. But anyway.
I believe so, yeah.
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 But that's where people put their code. So they put the code up there.
Gotcha.
For the little tiny computer. But it overran, so it was like doing all this radar stuff.
Yeah.
When you read through this thing. But the thing is it needed to not do so much radar stuff and let other things happen.
Yeah.
Calculations, so it kept going off. And there's a famous woman who wrote the code that they. In fact, there's this great picture of her standing next to a computer with back when they printed out.
Oh yeah, big
the code,
mounds of paper.
Mounds of dot matrix paper.
Right. Now, is she the one they made the movie about?
No, I don't believe.
That was the earlier mission, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can't remember the name of the film.
That was the Hidden Figures. Are you
Hidden
talking
Figures?
About? Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm talking about. She is here. I'm talking about Margaret Heffield.
Mm-hmm.
She was a scientist. Margaret. Well, so Margaret Heffield or Margaret Hamilton. Maybe her name was Hamilton. Maybe.
Gotcha.
She is 81 years old.
Wow.
Now, American computer scientist, systems engineer, and business owner. She got into did startup business and stuff after NASA. Cool. Director of software engineering division at MIT.
There's a resume for you.
Where she developed onboard flight software for the Apollo space program. In 1986, she became the founder and CEO of Hamilton Technologies. So, yeah.
Wow, kudos, Ms. Hamilton. Yeah.
Yeah, there was
cool.
The picture. There's just this awesome picture. 81. Do the math. How old was she then? I don't know.
Yeah.
She looks fairly young in this photograph.
Okay.
Which is, of course, makes us all seem, makes us all feel old,
Just slightly.
right? But
Yeah.
This is the picture I was referring to there. If you can see it, that's stacks of the code of the flight of the mission software.
She better have gotten overtime for that.
I don't. You know what? There was 500,000 people who worked on that space program,
Right.
and I can't remember what percentage of our economy. I mean, it was a blank check.
Yeah. Yeah.
To go to the moon.
Do what you got to do.
It was like we promised Kennedy we'd do this thing,
right.
And 500,000 people approximately worked on that thing, and the hidden figures thing was that they didn't have these high powered computers and all that. They had computers, but and so a lot of computers before the kind of technology we have today were people, and a lot of them women in rooms at desks who were good at math doing calculations.
Right. Yeah. If I remember the film, it was IBM, right? The first one that they were using.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it would come out on punch cards.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea how to read a punch card. I don't know how the little dots are like, oh, E equals MC squared. And like, there's a bunch of dots.
I worked with people at a bank, right?
Yeah.
And the older people at the bank got jobs. That's how they got their jobs out of school, was punch card people.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, that's before my time. I remember punch cards as a kid.
Yeah, I do too.
I know computers pretty well. I know nothing about that world of punch cards.
No idea how to
It was
decipher.
a way to input the program and get and then read it through. I think
Isn't that almost like a manual sort of paper, almost algorithm?
Yeah. But then then it was like terminals, screens, terminals, keyboard, right? And then things changed.
Right.
I mean the original personal computer, the very first one, the Altair that was down there in Silicon Valley in the early days, the one that even Steve Jobs and Wozniak and those guys, they all went to the computer club. It didn't have a keyboard, or it had switches and lights.
Wow.
Yeah. That was the first personal computer. So you'd program it with the switches, program the registers, and then get the output and the lights out. So it wasn't even like a
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then Apple made theirs with the with a keyboard.
Yeah, I remember when I was young, a Texas Instruments.
Oh yeah.
And they actually you would type in some stuff, and instead of I think this was even pre-floppy disk days. I think that I remember that they had it was like a cassette tape, and they put that in there. And then did that, and I was marveled by that.
Well, okay, so yeah, I'm working with I've got a few old vintage computers, and one of them originally, it does run off a cassette tape. I have the cable that you plug into the computer and then plug into the cassette thing, and I have some cassettes, and I'm not sure if there's programs on there that I don't have, so I'm actually toying with the idea of getting the cassette player and seeing if I can pull
recreate
anything.
it.
But early on I bought the massive floppy drive for the computer because it was just like nuts, and it was it was a music computer. So I was writing music. I'm gonna demo it. I'm gonna do a video. I'm getting close.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a video. And I wrote my original music and program the sounds and all sorts of stuff. It was a actual music computer. Yamaha sold it.
Okay.
And it's a long forgotten computer system that didn't catch on in the United States, but was very popular in England and Asia and the rest of the world. Never
kind of like Betamax versus
it was like
VHS.
the Nintendo. It was like the not Nintendo. It was like the Commodore 64.
Okay.
But for the rest of the world.
Gotcha.
Like the Commodore 64 was the popular home computer, became the big popular home computer in the U.S., and this computer system became the big popular computer system
everywhere else.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So a lot of the software and games and all that stuff come from outside. But I actually had to I had a guy who makes cartridges, custom cartridges for the computer system. And I emailed him and I talked to him. And he made me, because I'm missing the music program cartridge. I let it go away. It went away. And so he actually made one for me, and I bought it. It's like in Spain, so I had to wait. And so I was able to bring that software back up again.
Interesting.
And what happened was see what music that I had gotten there. Most of it, so the whole thing is most of it was all backed up to, like, when I moved to different computer systems, I'd bring the music along. Right? Mm-hmm. But there was still some unique stuff that was in there.
Okay.
And
yeah.
So
that'd be interesting to take a look at that.
I got it. I'm working on it. It's like a little side project. I'm working on it. I actually archived. What I did was when I got it, I found all, and there's stuff that's missing. There's the problem is there is music that I originally put on there that's just missing now.
It's just gone. Yeah.
It might be in another file somewhere or whatever. I mean, I went to different computer systems.
Yeah.
And then I standardized on this software and this PC, and that's where all my music is. But when you change systems, right, then you lose stuff along the way, or certain sounds that were unique, or even if doesn't sound as modern. Yeah, it's vintage, right? It comes from that period.
Well, it wasn't back then though. Wasn't it hard to like export? Like, let's say you move from one system to the next. Other system.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it sounds to me like it would have been nearly impossible to duplicate.
Well,
and get it over.
This computer system was one of the earliest systems that had MIDI, which is the musical instrument digital interface. Mm-hmm. Now they run it on USB, but if you have a keyboard, if you have software, you plug in the keyboard, usually a USB port into the software, but you're still using kind of that music protocol, and you can record things and do stuff. Yeah. But before it was like this big DIN plug. And because people wanted to hook up their racks of keyboards, they didn't even have digital. They were like the analog stuff, racks of keyboards, so that they could actually record and sequence the music. And so this computer was like one of the very first ones when MIDI came out. It was like, here, it's right on there. So I was able to export my music to the next computer via recording it through that. Yeah. So that's kind of how it worked. But it's a long and sordid story of old computers, but
I got kicked out of computer club because in the days when they used to do the old cassette tapes, right? Yeah. Well, I kind of took it the wrong way, and I came in with a Parliament Funkadelic.
Exactly.
And then they booted me out.
Yeah.
I
mean, that was the thing, though. I mean,
they said Commodores, and I thought they were talking about the Commodore, so I brought in Brick House and Lionel Richie, and then they booted me out for that. Yeah. Sorry. It's Commodores. Hey.
Listen, I like that. That's...
Folks, we've been gone a while.
Not bad.
I'm rusty.
It was a bad joke, but it wasn't too bad, though. I got it. I got where you were going with that.
It sounded good on paper. On the slide
rulers. It was like Parliament. No, the Commodore. there it is. Commodores. You got it. Okay. No.
Oh, man.
It's kind of hot down here.
It is.
But I do have stuff. We had the Amiga down here for that one show.
Right.
And so that's a whole thing. That was one of the interim computers that it popped to, but it didn't stay.
We got to do another tech show again sometime. That was fun.
And I'm thinking it might be around this old music computer.
Ooh.
But what I was able to do is see what was all on the discs, the music that still exists on the discs, on the actual floppies that are still there. Mm-hmm. And then what I did is I recorded them all off onto a digital recorder. So whatever was there with the original sounds and everything got recorded digitally. Because I have tapes of stuff. Mm-hmm. I have digitized tapes of this music. But it was like probably on some crappy cassette somewhere. It hisses, you know what I mean? So there is... You can still go back and hear some of this stuff. Yeah. But it was like some of it was like, oh, it'd be great to just hear it like really in its pristine, how it came out of the computer.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
And so I've kind of got that. And oh gosh, is it on this computer?
Talk about a time machine, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I have that, and that's what I was trying to do, to rescue and kind of do some reconnaissance on the stuff because I programmed the sounds, I did the music and all that. It's a fun. I'm restoring it because it was a fun retro computer. And nowadays, like with the Raspberry Pi that we're seeing and all that stuff,
right?
What we were talking about, it's like totally like all that stuff. Enough time, it's like vinyl. It's like all that stuff. Enough time passes, somebody, especially usually a younger person, who walks into a thrift store or something.
Wow, cool.
And picks up like the Funkadelic cassette tape and goes, "Dad, what's this? Whoa!" Right? And you're like, "Oh, And sure enough,
that son is called an 8-track tape.
Well,
8-track.
There's a guy, a friend of mine on Facebook, and I've been meaning to talk to him. It's so cool. He goes out and goes to the thrift stores, buys like a stack of movies, VHS. A lot of them are out of print. A lot of them, they're not in print. There's still a lot of stuff that's on VHS.
Yeah.
Especially B movies and that sort of thing that you can't get. And he watches it with his kid.
I ran into that problem. There was a movie back, I believe it was made in like 1984, 1985. And it was Tim Matheson, had John Hillerman in it.
Oh, wow.
The guy who played Pee-wee from Porky's. The guy who played Flounder from Animal House. They were in this movie, and it's called Up the Creek. And me and the Buddha used to watch Up the Creek, and it was one of those movies that was on VHS, but just never made it to DVD. And it's like our mythical unicorn now. Where wow, if anyone find this,
Yeah.
And because I remember like Cheap Trick did some of the stuff on the soundtrack, and they had
wow, what's the name of the movie?
Up the Creek.
Up the Creek.
Yeah, it's like this collegiate rafting thing, right?
Yeah.
But it had a bunch of characters.
A collegiate rafting thing?
Right, yeah. They had some lepetamine U, so they called it lobotomy U. And it had,
wait, was this a comedy?
Oh, yeah.
Tim Matheson. This was back when, this was like after Animal House, right?
After Animal House, yeah.
Because the thing is when I think of Tim Matheson, it's like Tom Hanks.
Yes.
You don't think of the early work, you think of the later work, you think of Tim, wasn't he like, I want to say Ordinary People?
Yeah, he did some dramatic work.
Bunch of dramatic stuff.
But that's later
But before it was Animal House and all that stuff. Tom Hanks, same thing. Bachelor Party.
Yeah, with Tom Hanks, I put it, it's like instead of BC and I put
that's what I do too.
I do B, BB, AB. Before Big, after Big. Because Big was his kind of, his launch into more, it was comedic, but it had more of that serious side to it, where he's kind of more in the depth. And he started out,
he was on a TV show.
Yeah, Bosom Buddies.
Bosom Buddies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like,
A Bachelor Party, though. That's a classic. I love that movie.
Totally appropriate for 2018.
Yeah, Adrian Zemed. Oh, yeah.
Now the one I think that might be a little, I mean, it's the whole, do you go back to that humor or whatever? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into that debate. But the one that I think is family friendly, and every time I watch it, and I can't find this one in print. I've been trying to find it. Like, I want the Blu-ray. I want the special edition. The Burbs.
Yes.
An awesome movie for Halloween-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a cast, man.
Yeah.
It even has Corey Feldman in it.
No.
Yeah. He's the kid. Remember? He's a kid who they're like all stealing beers from the convenience store and sitting out on the porch and watching.
I haven't seen The Burbs forever. Wasn't it?
And Carrie Fisher is Tom Hanks' wife.
Okay.
Bruce Dern.
The
Burbs is just one of my favorite movies.
I gotta watch that again. And I haven't seen that in years.
Artie, what's his name from Laughing? The Cloak.
Oh, Artie.
Yeah. And I
can't remember, but I know who you're talking about.
And that guy who used to be on Letterman, the weird German guy, he's in it too.
Oh.
And of course I can't think of his name. Is it Father or something? I can't think of his name right now. One of my favorite comedians
I know who you're talking about. Father, or was it Brother?
Brother Theodore. Brother Theodore.
That's right. Yeah.
Brother Theodore. He's one of the Klopeks.
Yeah.
And he just, through the whole movie, which is what was good, is as they're like trying to meet the new neighbors in the creepy old house,
right.
and Brother Theodore, pretty much his whole scene is just staring at Tom Hanks.
Saying nothing, yeah.
With this German stare.
Yeah.
And it's like, would anyone like sardines?
He would do that when he just went on Letterman's show anyway. I remember one interview where Brother Theodore sat there and he literally did that. Letterman would ask him a question and you just get
I know.
The whole time he's like, help me out here, you know?
That guy has a very, very interesting biography.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he became like this performance artist. He was an artist and a performance artist, and that was his shtick, right?
Yeah.
But I believe he had a PhD.
Wow.
And you read his biography, he was friends with Einstein.
Wow.
I kid you not. It's like, I read his biography and it's like, oh, this is like a guy who's like, and then he became a performance artist and comedian and ended up somehow doing the David Letterman shtick and inventing this Brother Theodore kind of thing, this harsh German, weird old man, true curmudgeon, truly wonderful, wonderful shtick, you know.
He was
and
one
had
of
some
the
success. And I know the Letterman people, they loved him. And every time the first time I ever saw him on Letterman, I mean, old Letterman was really good about that. They would, Bud Melman.
Larry Bud Melman.
You know, they'd always find these people that you'd be like, oh, this is great, you know. And so all of a sudden, you know, oh, we're going to have Bud Melman on or Brother Theodore. You'd be like, okay, need to watch the Letterman show.
Yeah, because Letterman back in the day, pre-CBS, NBC days, he catered to the college crowd. His was the younger, you know, after the Tonight Show, stupid pet tricks, stupid human tricks, right?
All this stuff. I mean, to this day,
yeah.
You want to talk pop culture? I will always remember where I was watching the television as, I think it was Letterman himself, ran up to a wall in a suit of Velcro
and stuck himself to the wall. Also, the one thing I always remember about Letterman was his very last broadcast for NBC when he was switching over to CBS. No one knew what he was going to do, and he pulled a rabbit out of his hat, and next thing you know, there's Bruce Springsteen jumping on Letterman's desk, and they're playing like Born to Run. And I'm like, holy cow, this is great, you know?
Yeah.
Who else?
Well, was that because Springsteen, when he left CBS, like grew the beard and did all that. I mean, his final, Springsteen came out and did a big...
Yeah, came back, because that was from the original on the NBC. Right. It was like this real big hush-hush thing, and God bless him, here comes Bruce Springsteen. He literally jumps on Letterman's desk with his guitar, and they're playing Born to Run. Yeah. And I'm like, now that's a late-night talk show, man. That's awesome.
The other person, Steve in the chat was saying Chris Elliott.
I love Chris Elliott.
Yeah, Chris Elliott.
Oh, yeah, of course, he's the kid, you know, one of Bob and Ray, right? Yep. And, I even liked his...
he's Bob and Ray's kid.
Bob and Ray
they had a kid.
It's their
Chris
love
Elliott.
child.
Yeah.
But
no, Bob Elliott.
I even got a trivia question here. Are you ready for this?
Actually, one time,
I
was thrilled because the jazz station here, back in the... KBOO, actually, before KMHD... ever came online, KBOO used to do jazz on the weekends.
Right.
Because there was no jazz. Nope. You couldn't just turn on something and go, hey, what if I wanted to listen to, I don't know, Thelonious Monk, or maybe some R&B, maybe some Lou Rawls. Didn't exist until KBOO did their Saturday night lineup. And one of the guys, the early morning guy, was kind of like a big band, and he was a young guy, but like big band and stuff.
Swing
and in between stuff, he'd play Bob and Ray.
Oh, yeah.
Bob and Ray bits.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh. And my big thrill, I think Letterman, one time when he had Chris Elliott on, and his dad came on with him.
Oh, that is great.
Yeah. And Bob and Ray, you know what? Here's the thing. If you like, it's like Bob Newhart, too. If you like that kind of humor, like the really, well, you have to go, hang on, you know. They were just brilliant.
It's
brilliant.
A little droll,
but brilliant.
But it's all timing and all. I mean, you can't.
The Man on the Street interviews were just brilliant.
Yeah. All right, folks out there right now, quick trivia. If you get this right, you will win absolutely nothing.
We're going to bring some prizes online. We're going to do a lot of new stuff, by the way.
And I'm only going to give people, they have to type it in over the next 10 seconds because you can't Google it. That's not fair. Okay, ready? You get 10 seconds. And we will count down in curmudgeon time. So I'll ring the bell when 10 seconds is up.
Oh, geez.
Let's see if you get it. The short-lived Fox sitcom that Chris Elliott did in the late 80s, early 90s. Ready? 10, 9,
I should know this answer.
7, 6.
I should know this answer.
4, 3, 2, 1. You ready? It's called Get a Life.
Oh.
He was the paper boy.
Oh, okay.
And his parents kept trying to get him to get a real job, but no, he wanted to be a paper boy.
Yeah.
And so it was just like the adventures of Chris Elliott, being the ultimate slacker
He's
son.
a superstar.
Yeah, Get a Life. Before Cabin Boy.
Yeah.
This was like
not the guy under the stairs.
Right. Yeah, that was pre that.
Okay.
This was This was literally his first foray outside of Letterman.
Well, what's weird isn't it like in Cabin Boy, Letterman has this big long beard, like as part of in the movie Cabin Boy, his character, and then he retires and grows this big weird long beard. I think we talked about that. We did talk about that on our last show about the. Letterman's been doing these Netflix interview things, and the last person he had on was Howard Stern.
Yeah.
And
him and Howard go way back.
Yeah,
man.
and Howard came out with a Christmas Santa beard on to mock him, which is like, I don't know about you, but I think one person in this world likes David Letterman's beard. Yeah. David Letterman.
Oh yeah.
Because everyone else is like, dude. You watch it. That's like if Carson would have done that, right?
That would have blown people's minds,
right? It would have been like, when Carson retired, and all of a sudden it's like, it's like, what are you doing? He looks like.
Yeah, first time I saw Letterman and his beard, I was
Grizzly Adams or something.
Yeah, I was like, good Lord, that's Old Testament right there. I mean, we're not talking Joseph Arimathea. We're
Jebediah.
Talking, it is. It's full blown Moses going on right there.
Jebediah is my go-to name when you like. Jebediah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Jebediah's a cool name.
Real Amish, real biblical.
Yeah. Hezekiah.
It's talking to a dad who biblically named the kids
Jebediah.
Do you have a Jebediah?
Really?
Yeah. No.
Well, we could ask Bush. They named his kid Jeb.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's Jebediah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I know a Jedediah.
Jedediah. So what's the difference?
D instead of B.
Okay.
That's about it.
It's confusing, right?
Right.
Of course, read the Bible. Who begat who?
Oh, that's really confusing.
Jebediah, maybe Jedediah. We're not sure if it's a B or I mean, at the time they were just like pumping the kids out, and it's like, what is it? Was it that a B or a D? Jeb or Jed?
Right. It got so confusing. They finally just decided to call everybody Enoch.
Yeah.
They're like, let's call it a day.
Oh, so yeah. So now we'll just get cards and letters from people. It's like, my name's Jeb, and I'm offended by your program.
We're going to get so much hate mail from the Bible Belt now.
Oh, good. Oh, my gosh. So, the big... there was tons of news while we're gone, but that's okay. But the big news that everyone's talking about is it's talking about Neil Armstrong and the moon and everything is... Oh, wait. I need to do this right. So the big news everyone's talking about, Jason, is Space Force.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing logos on that later.
Yeah.
That is so wacky.
Did you see? Okay, did you see the logos that that the Trump administration sent out for the Space Force?
Mm-hmm. Someone was high on acid when they did that.
No, they weren't. That's the problem. No, it was like...
there was a couple funky ones.
Which Mrs. Johnson's 4th grade class made up these logos? I mean...
Right, yeah. Oh, Timmy, that looks good. Let's go ahead and send that in mail.
Yeah. And they wanted to vote on them. I mean, considering the current administration...
Yeah.
Oh, good. That fell off.
Oh.
So I can't see the monitor right now.
That's all right. Well.
Yeah, it was bound. It keeps falling off. See, technical problems, Jason.
Yep.
Technical problems.
It's a Friday. Your system has started its
look over there.
weekend early.
Yeah, no, that's a thing. There's a thing.
Yeah.
I have a big monitor.
Big monitor.
That's why I look into the camera.
You can't see it, but it's big.
It's big, and I can look in the camera and see what's going on. And there's a little box back there.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be Velcroed with high industrial Velcro to the back of the monitor.
Yeah.
Which just takes the signal and it just fell off.
Oh.
But the camera's still there.
But it's supposed to take a Force 5 hurricane level.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No. All my Velcro's falling apart too.
Oh.
This is the heat and whatnot. Anyway, maybe I'll go over and fix that in a second because it's driving me crazy. And I just put it back on. But of course, with everything going on down here, with the major problems,
could be paranormal.
It's really not. I wish it were. That would make it so much. Oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me.
Okay,
here's the news today.
Okay.
Jason, Russian embassy trolls Trump campaign with its own Space Force logo.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, wow. Ooh. That's actually pretty good.
Can we see some of these?
Yeah, let me pull them up here.
Space
Not that I can see anything right now.
Is everything orange? Because you know Trump's big on orange.
Well, that's what it is. Yeah, but think about the opportunities, though.
Yeah.
Space Force Hotel.
Space Force.
Space Force wine. I mean, they're across,
Well, I think we need.
Remember during the campaign when he brought out all his products?
Yeah.
I'm just setting it here.
Space Force.
Hang on. We need Space Force music. I will bring Space Force music. Music that I have perfect face sports.
Yeah.
Face sports.
Space Force.
Space Force. I have perfect Space Force music.
Okay.
That I can bring in.
Excellent.
Okay.
Does it sound futuristic?
Yes.
Like Doctor Who music.
I know I have that too.
That's great.
I have it. It's more the Space Force music I'm thinking of a piece that I composed actually with a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did the opening motif and he did the B motif, and then we put it together.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a thing for a computer game. This was a long, long time ago, and it's very militaristic. It's got like the snare drum and the yeah. It would be perfect. I'm gonna send.
And you got a theremin.
Well, there's no theremin, but I should see if it's on. I should see if it's on here. But let's look at the logos first.
Okay.
Okay, these are the logos.
I'll do the background music while you.
I thought the logos looked different, but these look like the logos. Okay, so this is copyright. I like this copyright Trump campaign.
Oh, copy.
So which one of these logos do you like? I just thought of something. I need to cut and paste a logo and just change out the NuzBox logo with the Space Force. Oh, maybe we'll do the Space Force podcast. And then we'll get Elon Musk.
Yes.
Okay, look, we're looking at the Space Force. This show, we're now turning it into Mika and
Morning Joe.
And Bumblehead Joe.
Yeah.
So which one?
Do I get to be Mika?
You can be anything you want, Jason. It's 2018.
Okay,
Okay, so I still have this up on the screen. Which one do you like?
Ooh, well, everything from where I'm at, since I've got really crappy eyesight, everything's kind of blurry.
Yeah, and if the big monitor, you know what? Here, I'll go fix the big monitor.
Oh, okay.
Hang on.
I don't know. I think we should do a Space Force show, and I think we should like dress up in flight suits, or like astronaut stuff, and we'll get like cool Dollar Tree toy ray guns or whatever. Oh. And we can look like Buckaroo Banzai. I think that would be kind of cool. I think we should do that.
Good, yeah. That's what we need to do.
And then we gotta have Space Force. Maybe we could put like marionettes in there too.
Yeah.
Like the old space cadet or whatever. I like it.
Okay.
One of the questions I have though.
Just
oh my gosh.
Just as new tech.
I like the first one.
Okay.
Because it's got
Sorry,
like the
guys.
little.
I just was fixing the monitor here while we were doing that.
It's got like the little Astro thing on there.
The first one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
but
looks
here's what I don't.
NASA-ish.
Let's critique these. So you like number 1?
I like number 1 and number 6. The one bottom.
So left to right, right?
Bottom.
top to down.
Bottom right hand corner.
Number 1, number 6. Okay.
Yeah.
So number 6
Bum, bum.
is red with Space Force, and that's basically like the NASA logo,
Yes.
but it's red instead of blue, which
Surprised
is
it's not orange.
kind of weird. Well, maybe it is. You like the first one.
I like the first one. Because that's kind of NASA-ish too.
Here's what I don't like about the first one.
Okay.
Looks like the shuttle thing is flying all over, like wickety. We don't know where we're going. So, I mean, I think that probably fits the, what's going on right now in the government. But, it's like, let's go over here. Blah, 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 blah.
The second one's not bad either. The one that looks like a badge.
The second one, yes. And it has the Rocket XM whatever as the rocket. Like, look at that. It's like Rocky Jones' rocket. No, look at it.
Yeah.
It is. It literally is.
Yeah. Just wait until I do my logo. It's going to have, instead of a rocket, I think I'm going to put like a Pinto.
So the third one, I kind of like the third one.
Okay. Ooh, it's got like a different hue, right?
Yeah, it's still a little red.
Pink going in.
But it says Mars awaits.
Ooh.
So Space Force, Mars awaits. Okay.
Yeah, but anyone who's going to be on the Space Force, they wouldn't even know where Mars is at.
I'm totally fine with conquering Mars.
Well, yeah.
Guys, what have they ever done for us, those Martians? Conquer them.
Well, that's true.
Kick their butts.
The whole worlds thing, that's a downer.
Marvin? I never liked Marvin.
And where's Alf from? I mean, if he's from Mars, dude.
But it's weird. It's like there's a planet, but the planet is orange, the forest.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that design. Then the next one, so the bottom left down.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
That's funky.
Yeah, that's not bad. Space Force. I don't like the logo. I don't like the font there.
No, yeah.
Then the next one, the second to last one there. Again, we kind of got the toy rocket.
Yeah.
Like with the giant, like, they don't put a giant portal like it's 1958,
Yeah.
And you're watching a serial.
Retro.
Although the fonts are okay. So now what we were saying, sorry, we're on this thing forever.
Mm-hmm.
Now what they were saying is, here's
That's
Russia,
the Russian one. Huh?
Russian US.
Oh.
It's actually, the design is futuristic.
Yeah.
Take out the, replace the Russian flag with the American flag and replace the...
Yeah, we can Photoshop that.
Yeah. I'll show you.
No problem.
Anyway.
No problem.
So that was your Space Force.
So
now my thing is working again.
Let me ask you a question. Where can one go to sign up for the Space Force?
I don't know, but...
Let's say I wake up and I'm feeling extra spry that morning and I decide, hey, I think I can make a good candidate for the Space Force.
Or say you wake up one day and you go, I got to get off this rock and all the stupid people on this planet. Where can I go? I'll sign up for Space Force.
Right, or maybe the wife is fed up with you and she signs you up for Space Force. Hey, honey, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We are so going to be in Space Force, dude. We have the reasons are all there. We're going to be it'll be perfect because we are, what we are in Space Force? We are the lower deck crew of the Nostromo.
Ooh.
You know what the Nostromo is, right?
Ooh.
Remember the movie Alien?
Yeah.
The original Alien?
Yeah. Yeah.
The original Alien?
Yeah.
Not Aliens, not
No.
4, 6, Prometheus or whatever. The original Alien.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they? They're on the ship Nostromo. What is it? It's a tug spaceship, tugging tanker spaceship. Refinery, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're just space truckers. And with a lower level crew, Yaphet Kotto
Yeah.
and Harry Dean Stanton.
Yep. Oh, we could be space truckers.
We would totally be those guys. We'd be down there fixing the ducting.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, tell her it's going to take 12 hours.
Right.
It's going to take 12 hours. I'm coming down there. Oh, Ripley's coming down here.
They hit a pipe and steam comes flying out.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what's in the movie.
It. Right.
That's exactly what's in the movie because then they go land on LV4, whatever, 2, whatever. Right. And I never can remember that one.
Yeah.
But and they screw up the ship because they land on it. Like you'd think if they have to go land and do an expedition with their spaceship out in deep space.
Yeah.
You'd think they'd have procedures to not screw up the ship, to land and investigate the thing that they're supposed to be obligated to investigate.
One would think, but that would fall.
But nonetheless, they still do.
No.
They still sort of crash land the ship.
Yep.
And then what does that lead to? Yaphet Kotto, Harry Dean Stanton, they're down there having to repair all the steam, lots of steam coming out, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens? Sigourney Weaver, Ripley comes down there. Say, I'm going to go see what's going on.
Right.
She's like second in command, I think. She's like, she's
Captain
Dallas.
Yep, and then she's like in the second command.
Who is Fred Skerritt, Tom Skerritt.
Tom
Captain.
Skerritt, okay.
Great.
That's right.
That movie's so classic. Mm-hmm. Watch it just for the cast.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a great cast. And, Sigourney Weaver was like kind of a nobody then. I mean, that was like
her breakthrough.
Yeah, and then she did other great, it was like just great, huge fan of hers for work. And then of course she does Aliens, the sequel.
Yeah.
And actually got an Academy Award, man. Like a woman in a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
That was like we were all like, they're not going to give it to her.
Right.
Why? Sci-fi movie, Academy. It's not about an English countryside where people are having the vapors and.
Yeah, it's not like Remains of the Day.
Yeah, no. This is not a Merchant Ivory flick. This will not get an Academy Award.
Yeah.
And then boom, she wins for it, and well deserved.
Right.
I mean, the character of Ripley, especially in the first two films, Alien, but in Aliens.
Yeah.
It's like, whew.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like her character just developed so well in that story arc.
It was.
But that was a good cast, though. To this day, I love the original Aliens with the cast. I mean, I'm a huge Yaphet Kotto, huge Harry Dean Stanton. I mean, all these guys. Tom Skerritt, huge fan of his.
Yep.
The English guy who plays the science officer.
Right.
He's John Hurt.
John Hurt.
What's her name, lady? Whose first role was in The Birds.
Oh, is Janet? No, it's not Janet Leigh.
Yeah, no. It's her. It's her with the. She and her sister. Her sister was in Lost in Space, and
I can't.
I hate it. See, I come up with all this stuff and then I can't think of the names. I'll give it to you.
But I want to be a space trucker.
But that would be us, though.
Could we wear
overalls? Because they're not going to like hire us to be like the science officer.
Could we wear the
Sigourney Weaver,
overalls?
John Hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, Sigourney Weaver, Ellen Ripley, John Hurt, Kane. Okay, Yaphet Kotto, Parker. That's who it is. Parker. I always forget. Tom Skerritt is Captain Dallas. Harry Dean Stanton is Brett. Brett and Parker are the two guys. We would be the Brett and Parker of Space Force.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because you remember too, Brett, Harry Dean Stanton. What is he wearing over his uniform? Like a Hawaiian shirt.
Yes.
And his Space Force's Nostromo hat. This is made for you, man.
I got Hawaiian shirts. I got flamingos. I can do it.
No, you would be totally down there fixing the ducks.
Yeah.
With your Hawaiian shirt and your Nostromo Space Force hat.
Right.
Veronica Cartwright.
Okay.
Who was actually, she's the little girl in The Birds.
Okay.
I did not know that, and I was like, oh, she's in the Alien and lots of other movies. Yeah. And her sister is the kid, the sister in Lost in Space.
Gotcha.
They're sisters.
Gotcha.
The other Cartwright. She was in Lost in Space.
Right.
Ian Holm. Love Ian Holm, man.
Oh, Ian Holm. Yes.
He's great.
Yeah.
What other really big, great sci-fi movie was he in? I mean, I think he's been in several, but the big one was the Bruce Willis one. That one.
Oh, Fifth Element?
Fifth Element, yeah.
Yeah.
He was the monk in the Fifth Element, Ian Holm.
Also, Ian Holm, didn't he have a real minor cameo appearance in Spaceballs? Where
I don't know. He may have.
They do that thing,
and the
alien pops up and starts dancing, and he's like, "Oh no, not again!"
I really like his acting, and I was introduced to Ian Holm's acting by way of Alien, and when I saw that whole character, he's really creepy and weird, and for good reasons in Alien. And I thought, okay, that's a good actor. If you can pull that off and get me into that, like if you can get me into the character, again, that whole cast, just all those names, that whole cast,
Yeah.
they're all superstar actors or became superstar actors.
Right.
But he was in this a few years later. I saw him in this Canadian movie based on a true story about a bus that slips off the road, like a school bus, and drowns children and stuff in this small community.
Yeah.
And he's like the lawyer, like who comes in there, and oh man, it's really a tragic, sad story.
Yeah.
But he was so good in it. It was a good movie, but it was also, the feel-good movie of the summer,
Right. Yeah.
about a tragedy in this small Canadian town.
Yeah. It's weird that those actors that do a really, really good job of being creepy, right? Everyone's like, oh my gosh, I can't stand them. Me, I love them because that is the mark of a good actor. If they can make you feel that way,
Well, in 1968, he got the BAFTA award for Best Actor in a Supporting Role. 1968. His filmography on Wikipedia starts in 68.
Wow.
For the Bofors gun. I'm trying to see if there's something, because like I said, he played Napoleon in a movie. The Man in the Iron Mask. He's in The Man in the Iron Mask.
Really?
He was in Les Miserables. The Lost Boys. He was in The Lost Boys on TV. He played in 1978. He played Heinrich Himmler in the TV movie Holocaust.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a...
Alien. He plays Ash.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Chariots of Fire.
Okay.
BAFTA Award for Best Actor.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that one in a long, long time.
Chariots of Fire.
That's like a Merchant Ivory thing, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Oh, and he played Napoleon in Time Bandits.
Really?
Yeah, that is a movie.
I have not seen that in forever.
A movie that I really like. I think I have the Blu-ray of it.
Who's your favorite Time Bandit?
Well, I like the main guy. And I'm trying to, and I have to look up his name. Yeah. We have to just look everything up.
Right.
He's the main guy.
I had the name in my head and I forgot.
Yeah. Anthony Daniels is in it. He's like the supporting role. Anthony Daniels, who passed away not too long ago, who was originally R2-D2 in Star Wars. But the main guy who Rappaport? Rappaport. That's his name. Rappaport. I really like him a lot. But one of the things I really dig about Time Bandits is when Sean Connery shows up.
Yes.
He's the Agamemnon or something?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so he was in Time Bandits. He played Napoleon in Time Bandits.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up like Greystoke, Dreamworld, Weatherby. He was in Brazil.
Okay.
Another movie that I love so much. Brazil and Time Bandits, both Terry Gilliam films, are just two of my favorite movies. In fact, I think I recently, since they went to 4K DVD or Blu-rays, now you can get the HD Blu-rays for cheap sales if you look on $2 or something like that. And I think I have both Time Bandits and Brazil on Blu-ray. Yeah, those are movies you need on Blu-ray. He was in Uncle Vanya on BBC. I'm trying to look to see Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Anyway, this is the movie, I think. Yep. 1997. I highly recommend this movie. It's called The Sweet Hereafter. It's a Canadian drama starring Ian Holm, Sarah Polley, Bruce Greenwood. Bruce Greenwood is in it. Greenwood is in it.
I remember my favorite Time Bandit.
Which one?
Fidget.
Yeah. I was looking it up here.
Yeah. He was my favorite.
That's another one. That is Kenny Baker.
Yeah.
That's Kenny Baker. That's R2-D2.
Mm-hmm. Fidget.
So Fidget, yeah. Fidget, yeah. Kenny Baker was really good. David Rappaport is Randall. David Rappaport. So I like David Rappaport. I like the scene where they're on the Titanic.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they're smoking cigars.
Yeah.
They're sitting on the Titanic and they're playing and they're they're kind of like, yeah, you know, and also Rappaport. I love his voice. Mm-hmm. He's got a great voice. Mm-hmm. Sort of really British actor voice, and he's got the steampunk goggles and all that. That's why I like David Rappaport. Yeah. But yeah, Kenny Baker, Fidget. Yeah, they're really good together.
Fidget.
Now I gotta look and see who John Cleese. Oh, John Cleese is Robin Hood.
Yep.
Oh, that's a brilliant scene.
Who played the Supreme Being?
Ralph Richardson.
There you go.
Ralph Richardson. See, I got it right here. Shelley Duvall. Ian Holm as Napoleon. Now I gotta watch it again because I don't remember. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it, but David Warner is evil. David Warner, the great David Warner. Now you know David Warner, right? British actor. Mm-hmm. What are some of his? He's just done tons of character work.
A lot of movies. Yeah.
Star Trek. Star Trek.
Which one?
Well, he was actually in two Star Trek. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. He was two Star Trek movies of the original Star Trek movies. Star Trek 5. Okay. But he got a bigger role in Star Trek 6. He was Gorkon, the Chancellor of the Klingon Empire. That's David Warner. Great actor, fantastic actor.
Okay, because what I remember from the Undiscovered Country was
the guy who gets murdered.
What's his? He plays the one famous
Christopher
guy.
Plummer.
He was my favorite. Let's slip the dogs.
He's fantastic. Yeah. That's a good movie.
That and Wrath of Khan are my two favorites.
And why is that?
Oh, because Wrath of Khan, Ricardo Montalban.
But why is it though? Why are those two?
Same director, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it had that
same co-writer and director.
Yeah.
It's both Nicholas Meyer.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both Nicholas Meyer films.
I just liked it because Ricardo Montalban, just stellar performance in that, and then 6, Christopher Plummer just knocks it out of the park with that.
Those are my Star Trek movies are my comfort blanket.
Yes.
You know, when I need to, or Star Trek just in general is my comfort blanket when I need it's like I want to watch something, but I need something familiar, like an old quilt, you know? Yeah. I'll watch Wrath of Khan, or I'll watch Undiscovered Country, or I'll even watch. I know this is controversial. This is an up and down movie. Mm-hmm. Some people like it. Some people hate it. I'm in the camp of I really like the movie.
Okay.
I like Star Trek 3.
Oh, Search for Spock?
The Search for Spock.
Yeah.
Because it has Jim from Taxi as a Klingon. And he's great.
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd is the Klingon bad guy.
Right.
And he's excellent.
Yeah, he does a good job. Okay, yeah. There was one I didn't really like that much, and I'm not sure which one it is.
Is it 5? The one where they meet God?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the one where they go back in time to get the whales. That's cool.
That's 4. That comes after.
Yeah, 5 I'm not a big fan of. I think...
and why is that?
I don't know. Wasn't that directed by one of the... Shatner, right? Yeah. It just wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah, I know. You know what?
But 6, though, they come back with
if you're a fan, like I got the whole thing. If you're a fan, you're going to watch it.
Yeah.
And there is actually... The thing about that movie is there's some certain scenes and some ideas there. Part of it is the whole movie's about getting older.
Yeah.
And dealing with age and death and stuff like that. I mean, that's exactly what it's about, which is not a bad theme for a movie.
No.
It just, in a Star Trek movie, even though, yes, this cast is getting older, yes, they need to be, it kind of ends up as a downer.
Right.
And I think that's the problem with the movie. If you just take it on what the story is, I give him some credit. I give Shatner some credit for dealing. I mean, there's some really good scenes where they do these flashbacks with this Vulcan mind meld. And the one that's really sad is Bones McCoy, Dr. McCoy, and his father's dying, right? And on the hospital. I mean, I know. See, it's like now we're getting into really sad stuff. Yeah, but I mean that you go, hey, gonna go see the Star Trek movie. Let's eat some popcorn. Let's. All right, this is a little too real. What about, can we beam somewhere and shoot photon torpedoes? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, and then the ending with the God thing was kind of weird. But it has, it does have a really good line in it, which I quote often.
Okay.
Okay. Every movie has some elements in it. Like that would be a movie you'd want to edit up a little bit and change it. But
Sure.
And again, I'm a Star Trek fan, so if you're a fan, you accept a lot of stuff that you wouldn't normally.
You take the good with the bad.
You take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
There's certainly a lot of old original Star Trek TV show that's not great, and then there's stuff that's really, really good.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But there's a great line in that movie that I really do like in Star Trek V, where Kirk goes, "Wait a minute, what does God need with a starship?"
Oh.
And I love that line. It's at the end of he goes, I need your starship. I'm God, and we're going to travel the universe.
Right.
And they're all going, okay, God, cool. Here's the Enterprise. You go take the whole crew.
You want the keys?
And of course, Kirk, it's his ship, right?
Yeah,
and we know how Kirk feels about
it's his baby.
ship.
Yeah.
And he goes, wait a minute. What do you need a starship for? Because that's my ship. I'm not God. I need. And McCoy immediately turns to him and goes, Jim, you don't argue with the deity. I mean, it's great. It's a great little scene, and you're like, oh, this is hilarious. And then, of course, God goes, oh, and then stuff happens and everything, and it gets. But I do like that line, and I do like him saying that, and then Bones comes right back with, Jim,
you don't argue with the deity.
You don't argue with God, Jim. Jim, the hell are you doing? Damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not a theologian, but even I know you don't question a deity if he wants your ride.
Right, and then you throw in Shatner's overacting, and it's great. Wait a minute.
Exactly.
What does God want with a starship? And like, damn it, Jim.
Are you kidding me, Jim? You're going to ask God a question?
Right.
My God, man, what are you thinking of?
That's great. And, Spock's trying
to
get
into the Saurian brandy a little bit too much last night, Jim?
Damn it, Jim. And then Spock's like trying to get some... I think that we should... Yeah, shut up, you pointed-eared freak.
Exactly.
And Spock has got his eyebrow going up like... What?
You're a Vulcan, not a Christian. Shut the hell up.
You're a Vulcan. What do you know about God?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you going to challenge him to Pong Far? What's going on? I like it.
Jesus died for my sins, not yours, you pointy-eared little green-blooded bastard.
Yeah. Who knew that Bones was so, backward towards religion,
Well, it just heats up here at Coffee with Curmudgeons. At some point, we'll find something amusing,
and that's why the Curmudgeons didn't direct any Star Trek movies.
Yes, because we just go off on that tangent about Jesus and the Bible. I went to Sunday school, you pointy-eared alien Vulcan.
Right. It's called catechism, you damn Vulcan.
By the way, you look like the devil, too. The pointy ears and the pointing this.
Jim, I can swear he's got a bit of Satan in him.
Exactly.
I was like... What are you talking about?
Is that a pitchfork in your hand, or are you just happy to see me?
That's right. You're half Vulcan, or you're half human, half Satan.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, come on.
Yeah. I know, right?
Well, I think maybe Bones had been getting into the medications a little too much, he was seeing God before God even showed up.
We have and at some point, maybe when we edit and actually do best of shows, we have actually gone down the path during the show at one time, analyzing how it is a requirement if you are a starship surgeon assigned to a starship mission, that you are also an alcoholic and trying to make the rest of the crew an alcoholic, right?
You gotta be,
Because even the guy before Bones, I'm telling you, in the original pilot, they're pushing the Saurian brandy. It's like, hey, you look a little stressed out. Look what I brought.
That's right.
Oh, look, I brought one for you, too. It's like two-fisted, right?
And then they passed off for medicinal purposes.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Bones is always, he's always bringing in the booze. It's like,
Yeah, but what's he supposed to do, though? I mean, Spock's got his, 3D sort of chess he does. Kirk is too busy, chasing after green women from Nebulon 5.
That's what he's doing to calm Kirk down. I mean, I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
Here,
you know what?
shot.
We should have had a shot at when J.J. Abrams rebooted the 2009 Star Trek, because we needed to retcon that a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, because then Bones McCoy would be like kind of like the guy out of Airplane, you know?
Oh,
it's like I brought you some airplane glue, Jim. Here's some cocaine. Here's some, you know, I mean, it's like a syringe. It's like, have you tried some heroin? You know, it's like,
don't worry, Jim, sit down. This shop will make everything all right.
Exactly.
You know? Wow.
I put on some Thelonious Monk and some Stone Temple Pilots.
Right. Tell me when you see God.
Yeah, it's like
wow.
I know, exactly. You never knew. It's like
he was given Kirk ecstasy before there was any ecstasy.
Oh
right?
my gosh.
They're doing lions down in the hologram.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Holodeck. That's if we got our hands on the Star Trek franchise. We're taking it, you know, we are boldly going where nobody has gone before, you know.
So again,
yeah.
To summarize, you should see The Sweet Hereafter that stars Ian Holm. It's very sad. It's not the popcorn happy movie.
It's touching.
It's sadder than Star Trek V.
Yes.
But it is a good movie, and Ian Holm is brilliant, and he won a lot of awards for his portrayal of this lawyer. And to tie it into Star Trek, it also stars Bruce Greenwood, fantastic actor, who played Christopher Pike in the rebooted J.J. Abrams films.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've always liked Bruce Greenwood, and then I really liked him because he did a short-lived television series that was filmed in Portland. So he hung out in Portland a lot, and did, I can't remember the name of the show. It didn't last for tons of seasons. I think Nowhere Man, I want to say.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah.
I do like him a lot when he shows up and does stuff.
Isn't that also a Beatles tune? In Nowhere Man.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm trying to see. I want to see. That isn't Dirty Dancing. Huh? Oh, that's Mad Men. Well, shoot. It might have been. Yeah, Nowhere Man. 95 to 96.
Okay.
Thomas Vale. He starred in it.
Yeah.
Nowhere Man. Thomas Vale.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just giving you the facts.
There we go.
Just giving you the facts, man. But anyway, we're about, considering that Hollywood's rebooting everything.
Charlie's Angels.
We're about ready for another Dragnet reboot.
Oh.
Well, there wasn't. Okay, this was weird because I think I saw it.
Yeah.
There was a TV boot in the early reboot of Dragnet in the early decade, and it starred the dad from Married with Children.
Bundy?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was interesting. It was kind of like they were trying to do.
I want to say I kind of remember
Dragnet
it, but very hazy.
Meets CSI or whatever. But,
yeah.
And then, of course, the movie was, a Tom Hanks comedy.
Right. Dan Aykroyd.
And your guy, Christopher Plummer, was the bad guy.
Yes, he played the main bad guy.
Yes, he did.
The cult leader dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was funny.
He's doing a dance in his goatskin pants.
I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
1967 to 70 revival. Later in, 50 to 60. Come on.
They had two of them.
Oh, here we go. L.A. Dragnet. 89 series, The New Dragnet.
Okay.
1989, The New Dragnet. Its first run syndication featuring new characters. The new Adam... Oh, in tandem with the new Adam 12.
Oh, boy.
New Dragnet. Jeff Osterhage and Bernie White as the detectives. Huh. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm so leery of...
2003, L.A. Dragnet. It was a Dick Wolf production.
Really?
Yep. Law and Order. Ed O'Neill as Joe Friday. Bundy from Married with Children.
Yeah, Ed O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill.
Now Modern Family.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I did see it briefly. That's a tough one to reboot, though. I mean, here's what I would do to reboot Dragnet.
Okay.
Set it in the old days.
Yep.
Make it a Mad Minute,
A period piece. Yeah. I would do that too. Noir it up a little bit.
Actually, it would be interesting to do it in Mad Minute and start in like the 50s. Like real hardcore black and white, almost 1950s, maybe
during like the Red Scare and stuff. Yeah,
like when the first series came out, because it was first in the 50s, and then the one I basically grew up with was the revival in the late 60s with the drug and the counterculture, which made it a thing of absolute television beauty. Because Joe Friday was always going up against the counterculture.
Right. He's like something like, there's some famous quote, like LSD's the bomb or something he says in it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's like tons of, but yeah, start it like Mad Men. Do it like Mad Men, because Mad Men kind of starts in the straight-laced early 60s. Early 60s, and then kind of like do it like every series is kind of like you bump it up a year or two.
Yeah, I think if I remember, the way they scaled the series was it started in the year 1960 and went up until 1970. They took it 10 years.
Yep. Yeah, I would do Dragnet like that.
That would be perfect.
Right?
Yeah. I've been listening to old-time radio shows. I've been listening to the old radio Dragnet. 1951, 1952, a couple years before they sent it to TV.
Yeah.
And that is a hoot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's real straight-laced in that.
Yeah.
I could dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be good.
Yeah.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
Whew,
you know, sometime on the show we're going to have to talk about worst TV reboots ever. Because I've got a whole list of them.
Yeah?
Number one.
That would be a good one.
Yeah, I don't want to give it away now because I don't want to be cheating.
That would be a good one, though.
Oh, I got
definitely
one.
A good... We actually... that would...
It sits in my craw to this day if we start talking
That's
about
a good idea for some other new plans
Yes.
we may have.
Yes.
That's a very good idea. Let's
in the
file
pipeline.
that one away.
Stick a pin in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. The worst TV reboots.
And there's a whole lot of them. And there's
you like a
one.
top 10? Top 5 or top 10?
I could give you top 10.
I gotta say I'll have to go do mine.
And
now, are these all ones that you've seen?
Oh yeah. In some shape or form, and they're usually ones that have been on like either one season or less than a season. They've come on and it's just kind of crapped out, and they just lost forever in TV land. There is one that is my number one that I'm so deeply.
Don't give it away.
No, I'm deeply passionate about, and it was the worst mistake ever. And if someone says it, it's like a dead men don't wear plaid. If you say the word like, cleaning woman, gets me going.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that.
Save it.
Oh yeah,
we'll save it.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
And Buddha knows which one it is too, because he is just as passionate about it. If you say it,
is this like animated series too, or just
it's a real series. Yeah, they
I gotta think about that.
Such a beautiful idea too, and then they just took a dump on it.
I generally don't like reboots or anything. I just generally don't.
Either.
I mean, because they're usually not good. They sometimes are good, and of course Hollywood, in the 2000s,
even
it's like,
today. They just greenlit the Charlie's Angels reboot with Elizabeth.
Another one?
Yeah.
I don't.
I can't remember her last name. Elizabeth,
I think I vaguely watched the first one.
Yeah, Elizabeth Banks.
I think I vaguely kind of watched it.
Yeah, the one with Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, when sometimes you grow up with that stuff, and then you're like,
yeah,
we were talking. I was actually messaging you about my favorite heroes, because I'm not much of a comic book guy like you or Buddha or whatever. But I do have a couple of my favorites. You know what they are.
Oh yeah.
And I was messaging you, and then it was like, well, there was that one, and then they did that movie, and I was excited, and it was a big budget movie, but it was like, no.
Yeah. I know.
And so it's like, and then I was like, it's time to bring back that guy, but with all. So here's, oh my gosh. I'm having so much of a problem right now with Disney and all this stuff.
Yes,
because it's oversaturated. Like, I haven't seen all the big Marvel movies. I saw one.
I quit watching Marvel movies.
Well, I mean, there's the Wonder Woman ones, and they're making.
I saw that. That was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
Still haven't seen it. Well, we heard good things about it.
Yeah.
Right? Did you see the Wakanda, the Black Panther?
I have not. Everyone says it's just really fantastic. It's actually the best one out of all of them. I haven't seen it. I want to see it.
I haven't seen it. I mean, the problem is Disney and Netflix and all that are fighting, right?
Yep.
They're all trying to because now everyone's wants to have their own streaming service.
Yeah.
And so I've always had Netflix. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, wait till this one comes on Netflix. It's like, wait till it comes on cable. And
now
now it's
they
like
won't let 'em come
everyone's like doing this thing. So it's like, well, maybe I can go watch that one and go get a Redbox, right? Go get in the Redbox. But then it's like, if I'm going to take my time to go do a Redbox, I want to make sure I actually have to pull the disc out of the Redbox.
Yeah.
And take it home.
You got to be committed to it at that point.
I'm
right?
truly an American. It's like this actually takes effort.
Right.
I can't just
reboots to me now, and the reason why I'm so gun shy of them now is to me it's a Hollywood cop out. I mean, it almost seems to me.
Well, it is. It's a guaranteed franchise. That's why Disney and all of them. That's why they have Star Wars, which isn't quite working out as well right now with all the tension.
Yeah.
That's why CBS. A lot of the big news in media right now.
Yeah.
Disney, like this week, they're starting their streaming service. They're putting new Star Wars TV shows. First live action Star Wars TV show is going to be on their streaming service.
Wow.
Created by Jon Favreau.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they got the new movie coming out, and that stuff, and movies and whatnot, and more animated series. So they're going to do... They have their own streaming service, but they're doing a new streaming service. And the big news is they were trying to buy the cable TV rights of the old movies. Turner has them.
Oh, yeah, Turner.
They're trying to get them. Turner's like, nah.
Nope.
So until the contract expires in like 2025 or 2020 or in the 2020s.
Right, but even in those contracts, they have first refusal. In other words,
that'd be interesting.
They have to when that expires. It just doesn't go to open market. These guys have the first.
People like because usually around the holiday time.
Yeah.
They have like Star Wars marathons where they show all those the old movies on marathons. A lot of people turn the Turner on the cable TV to watch. Oh yeah, do the family thing and watch like around Thanksgiving and around that. I think they run the
marathons. Yeah,
the Star Wars. They keep repeating them. So I don't know. I mean, so Disney's trying to get those rights back for their stuff. Yeah, and they just bought Fox Film TV.
Yeah, that's right.
Which own the film rights to all that stuff. So Disney's trying to get all the stuff back in the Star Wars. They have the Marvel. Right. They're pumping out those movies.
Marvel is trying to fight
it
hard, man.
It's just a business.
It is.
And then CBS, guess what CBS just discovered? Star Trek. Hey, we have a whole series here of a 50-year-old series that people have enjoyed, movies and television over the many, many years. Exactly. So all of a sudden now, the big thing because there's a big yearly Star Trek convention in Las Vegas. Yeah. They have Comic-Con, and then a month or two later in Las Vegas, they have the Star Trek Con or whatever it is. Yeah. And so big announcements there, new show. And the biggest announcement ever in culture, sci-fi. Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise.
As himself. Picard coming back.
So he announced there's been rumors. And so CBS, like you just said, get your beer, right? CBS just discovered that they own they somehow own part or whatever it is of Star Trek. Yeah. Yeah. And maybe we should make some money off that, like those guys over at Disney. You got the Star Wars and the Marvel.
And what are you going to do? You're going to bring in Patrick Stewart, the known commodity. The guy I call him the cerebral assassin, because because Kirk was more of the hands-on double karate judo. He was hoo-ha, but that's Picard beat you with his mind. Yeah. He was a cerebral assassin.
Everyone's trying to figure out what this new series is going to be. And I did watch, because I go up onto YouTube and I watch the fandom stuff. Honestly, sometimes I'm more interested in the fan stuff than I am the actual thing.
Because they're way more creative.
Well, they got taken opinions this premise and think about things and stuff, and they're very involved, Well,
they're passionate about it. Whereas the studios, I mean, they want money. They're the bottom line guys, but the fans,
my favorite, and you have to be really a geek and a Star Trek fan and a geek about the effects and all this stuff. I'd say right now my favorite fandom is a YouTube thing. These two guys, it's called Trek Yards. They do a thing, and they do like several things a week. And their original premise was they take ships, like for Trek. They take, this starship here that was in episode 26 of The Next Generation that showed up and flew away. And they'll go dissect the entire ship, the design, the technology, and everything.
You know,
I know, it's super geeky, but actually, they do it really, really well. And they've got
kind of interesting.
And they've got. I started watching them because they started talking about the new Star Trek Discovery episodes,
right?
And taking those apart and complaining about certain things about it and whatnot. But I think they're very fair. I don't think that they're so like crazy, like, you know, some of the fans going crazy about this and that and the other thing. Yeah. But so I started watching there, and then they would do the ships and stuff, and they really analyzed, and they got so good at it. They've been doing it for a couple of years that they actually have as guests. You can go back and watch as guests the art director guys who designed the ships for Star Trek. These guys like Doug Drexler and these guys who have been on their show, and they interview them about like, okay, so you designed the motion picture ship. Tell me how that went. It was like, I got this call from Paramount, and they were doing this thing, and I submitted some art things. And so then they'll talk about their starship designs and stuff that they did for movies. And that's really, really fascinating. Yeah. I mean, it's nerdy and geeky, but you're actually talking about art and cinema and special effects and art. And these are the original art designers who still, some of them still work on Star Trek and other major things, telling you, here's why we did this to the Enterprise or to Sulu's ship or whatever. It's really pretty interesting stuff.
Talk about going back to the source, right? The guys who actually created it.
They do branch out, too. They even do other sci-fi series. They're mainly Star Trek focused. Okay. But people do ask them to do other things, so they'll do other spaceships. They've done some Star Wars and stuff.
The Millennium Falcon.
Mainly, they've done the Millennium Falcon. They mainly have done
Star Trek.
Star Trek, but they do other things. And so they're really good. And they get into like a whole thing. I mean, it's really weird when you get into that level of fandom, and then you watch a half-hour video on all the escape pod technology on all the Enterprises and starships that have ever appeared. Yeah. I kid you not, Jason. Yeah. I mean, that is some real delving down. Like, they did a deep dive into every escape pod system that was on the Enterprise, all the different versions, like the Picards, Kirks, all this stuff, right? Yeah. Because actually there's only been, that I can recall, like basically two escape pod scenes I've ever seen in a Star Trek. Yeah. One was the most awesome of all, and probably the best pilot of any Star Trek series, the pilot for Deep Space Nine. Okay. Because it's actually somewhat similar to 2009, the movie. Because the Borg kill Avery Brooks' ship. Yeah. And his wife dies. Right. In the kill. And they grab him, throw him on the escape pod, and the escape pod zooms out, and the ship blows. Like, all the escape pods go out, and the Borg blow up the ship. Right? The ship's blown up. And so, like, the best opening 5 minutes of a Star Trek. Yeah. I mean, it's just, and it's Avery Brooks. You know, it's one of my favorites. But anyway, so that's real good. And then the First Contact. Gotcha. Yeah. Because they evacuate the ship. Because, again, the freaking Borg took over the Starship E, whatever, the new one. So you see all those. Yeah. Those are the only times. But these guys go into all that. It's like, well, see, this, and there's a bathroom, and I mean, you think about it. Right. Look, here's the thing we got to think about, because we're joining Space Force, right? Yeah. These are all the things we could talk about in our interview.
Ooh, we know this stuff.
Yeah, just watch like these guys over here. So, escape pods, we need to know about escape pods if we're in Space Force. Yeah. What if the ship blows up, the reactor overheats
Borg
because you forgot to put the coolant thing back on the hood?
Well, it happens.
Jason.
I don't know what that red button does. I just saw it and I said, hey, that looks pretty cool. And then I pushed it. Next thing you know, EO. And we're hopping in the pod.
Escape. Yeah, I don't. Brr. That was really cool. Yeah, that would be. It's like, hey, is that a new Hawaiian shirt you got? Yeah.
Right, yeah.
It looks good. Which escape pod are we going to? I don't know.
Escape pod number 9.
But we have to know about that stuff.
We got to know about it.
Because you have to know how to open which button you hit that, and the doors. There's your escape pod, right?
Right. And we're never.
How many people get to go in the escape pod? Do you know, Jason?
I'll say 7.
It depends on the ship and the escape pod, Jason.
Okay.
I learned this from these guys.
I just said 7 because we'll cram them in.
No,
we'll cram
I
them
mean,
in.
some of the ships are really big, and they have like these big escape pods.
Yeah.
Like, can hold like 15 people. Like, if it's a real emergency,
Yeah.
and you got to like pile them in,
Yeah.
it's not going to be comfortable.
No.
It's like a lifeboat, right?
No. One time, Ensign Jenkins elbowed me in the ribs, man.
Exactly, max capacity.
Right.
But then I'm hoping we get on a ship that has the escape pod, has a nice bathroom. It's kind of like a little hotel room, a little there's the bed over here and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
See, that's what it would be. You would screw up the thing,
Yeah. What does this
right?
do?
You didn't put the duct on right.
Yeah.
Overheat the damn engines.
Right.
Now we have to evacuate the whole damn ship.
Yeah.
How many people are on the ship?
Oh, let's give it a nice round number. Let's say 250.
250 people.
Yeah.
You forgot the procedure to put the coolant head onto the coolant unit.
Yeah.
Now the reactor's overheated. Now we're going to self-destruct. Now 250 people. We need to get into the escape pods.
Yeah.
We got to go find the escape pod on our deck.
Right.
Hit the button. Open up the thing.
Right.
Opens.
Yeah.
There's the escape pod.
We jump in.
We go in there. First thing I look around, I go, oh, this is nice.
Right.
Kind of reminds me of the Marriott, you know?
Right. And we'll be very
And then you walk into the bathroom area, sink,
Yeah.
and go, look, soap, free soap, free shampoo.
Sweet. Come out wearing a bathrobe, complimentary
a free complimentary of
Sweet.
complimentary of Space Force.
Right. And meanwhile, people are like pounding on the hatch door because they don't want to go down with the ship. And so I raise it up just a little bit and I say, I'm sorry, there's too many people here. You got to play rock, papers, and scissors for it.
Yeah.
So they're outside.
In your Space Force complimentary bathroom,
right?
Shower robe,
right? And they got like honey roasted peanuts, I'm just like eating it,
damn it, and pretzels.
Maybe a
wait a minute. Of course, because you'd be in the escape pod, right?
Yeah. It'd
have the little refrigerator, right? What do they call that? The little.
Well, they have a replicator, and then they. But the thing about it though is that if you're going to...
Don't drink the Sarian brandy. Those are like $8 a piece, and they're only 4 ounces, dude. Don't...
Yeah, except they come in little bottles.
Yeah, exactly.
Sarian brandy. But the thing about it is if you're going to be in an escape pod, you need escape snacks. I mean, you got to have the pretzels. You got to have the space pretzels and the space
flat screen TV.
Flat screen TV is the only thing I have a gripe about the TV on the escape pod is it's stuck on the home shopping network.
Oh yeah.
And that just bums me out because I don't want cubic zirconium.
Yeah.
Right. I have a thing against cubic zirconium. Yep. And
with it, like you'd go in and the toilet in the escape pod bathroom has the little, thing on it, sanitized for your protection.
It does. There's a little paper over it and the blue water and stuff. Like, hey, look, blue water.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think we have time to call out and get some more shampoo and extra soap?
Yeah, we're SOSing not because we're in trouble. We just need a refill on we're out of conditioner over here. Yeah. Can you please?
And what is it with the conditioner? I mean, you go travel, right?
Yeah.
And what's the first thing you do when you travel? Before you leave, you open up your bag and take every bit of toiletry and throw it in the bag and zip it up and go away, right?
Yeah.
And years later, after years of business travel, I literally have a cabinet full of conditioner.
Full of nothing but...
And lotions.
Space conditioner and space lotions.
Well, so I wonder if... Okay, well, you're in your bathrobe and now like...
Yeah.
What's on the TV? Is there some pretzels there?
Yeah.
Space Force with the logo. Space Force.
Right. We want space pretzels. Yeah.
And salt peanuts.
Salt peanuts.
Do they have honey roasted?
Honey roasted. Maybe some almonds.
Ooh.
They get some cashews maybe even too. Or maybe they got a mix.
Yeah.
Maybe they got like a trail mix.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, space trail mix.
They have a little complimentary card too.
They have to. Yeah.
The complimentary card is like, the room service.
Oh, God. Do you think they have like a Space Gideon Bible?
Yes.
Next to the space bed, you open up the little thing, and there's like this little space Bible.
Which is
there.
hilarious, because
Wow.
I think that was a Star Trek thing, right?
Right.
The Sons of Gideon or whatever.
Yeah, the Sons of Gideon. And the thing is, they stymie you too, because they redo the 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
So you open it up with thou shalt not steal the conditioner. Like, oh, come on.
We already screwed
Come
that
on,
one up.
Gideon.
Space Force can afford it.
Yeah, they can.
If the Marriott can afford it, Space Force can afford it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, the USS Sheridan can do.
The Sheridan.
The
Ooh,
USS
I like
Sheridan.
that.
Yeah.
You know, just get Seth MacFarlane on the phone. He's doing Orville. We got like stuff for him. Like, look, then they'll do it. It's like,
We got oodles of content for him.
That's the other non-Star Trek, non-Star Wars, non-franchise series that Seth got so fed up that he started and did that. But here's what I'm thinking.
What about if you clog the toilet? I mean, is there like space plungers?
There's got to be. Of course.
What if if you got a backup on there and you're in your escape pod?
Well, is there like a robot vacuum or like a Rosie the robot thing?
That would be
because you have to.
Awesome. I want my own data. He just shows up. I'll fix the toilet.
What I'm thinking is, okay, so the,
like
the alarm's going off.
Yeah.
We're getting comfortable in our 7-person escape pod that we're only putting 2 people in.
No,
right?
we need elbow room.
Yeah. I asked for the 2 doubles.
Right.
Not a queen. Right. But anyway, is this a non-smoking or a smoking escape pod? But anyway, we get in there, right? And then, of course, the doors, the airlocks, all very official. Lights go off, computer things, right? And then it's like, boom, and whew, and that thing zooms out, just like in the opening scene in Deep Space Nine. By the way, if you haven't, go to YouTube and watch it. If you remember it, it's such a good special effects and everything. Because it's like immediately, like, all of a sudden, fade up from black, and it's the Borg cube and all the starships fighting, and it's Locutus. It's Locutus. It's Picard. I'm Locutus of Borg. We're going to destroy you. And anyway, so we shoot out like that, right? Mm-hmm. Look through the window. There's our ship. Yeah. Nice reactor maintenance there, Jason.
Right.
All right. But anyway, hopefully everyone got out alive. So then it's like you come out the bathroom. It's like, dude, there's only one set of bath towels. We need to call out for some more bath towels.
Right.
So there's a phone, like a communicator phone there, don't you think?
Sure, and it makes it
with the one button, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we get so we need room service. Yeah. We need some more towels. Can you bring some more conditioner and maybe some more smokehouse almonds, please? Right. So then we're floating out in space, surviving. And then here comes the maid service ship.
Yes.
She's
docking in. Here comes Rosie in.
Exactly.
She's refilling the TP and everything like that.
Almost kind of like a...
Could we get room service too?
Yeah. Well, that's how you'd get it. Right.
You're like, yeah, we need conditioner. We need this. Jason says he wants a steak sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Come on, we're watching Laughing over here. We need it.
Yeah. Do you want that with a gluten-free bun, or is that?
Yeah, we'll go gluten-free.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go gluten-free.
Yeah. So so it's kind of like that's sort of like like the opening scene of Star Wars, right? With the little ship. Except nobody's. It's like here's our little. We're kind of drifting, kind of sideways.
Because we don't know how to drive.
But we're actually upright because there's no right. And here comes the giant. Marriott maid, probably like Mary Maid. It says actually has like a some cleaning supply logos and stuff as we docks kind of sucks us into the dock, and it's like.
And when we don't want to drive it ourselves, what do? We do like in the movie Airplane, or so we hit a button and like a blow up automatic pilot.
Oh, dude!
In there, and he's taking off, and we're just like, sweet.
No.
No blow up on pilots?
You don't remember what happens in that scene.
Well, in our scene, it's different,
Which, by the way...
Or is it?
Don't be the parent that just pulls out the Zuckerberg movies and goes, okay, kid, these are funny movies. Let's watch them.
Yeah.
Like, Airplane, all those movies, at certain points, I'd get this, Dad! Are you going to... Can we we'll fast forward this scene.
Oops. But,
I was at a tender age when I saw those movies, and I giggled and laughed.
It was a different time, people.
But yeah, we'd have the maid service.
Yeah, I want
thing.
Rosie.
And it would definitely be like a Rosie. Yeah, it would be a robotic.
Would you like more conditioner? Well, yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
Like it's just like the airlock door would open up, right? And then there's that hallway with horrible carpet, terrible lighting,
Shag
awful
carpeting.
beige walls, and here comes with the cart.
Yep.
You have more towels.
Get the little French maid outfit, you know, coming in.
Do you need me to change the bed? No, bed's fine. Bed's fine.
Here's mint for pillow.
Mint for pillow?
Sweet.
Oh, gee, of course there's got to be a mint for a pillow.
Complimentary mint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the Space Force thing might.
This might work out.
Space sporks. Space sporks is what you get with the food. You get a space spork.
I don't think you get space forks. You know what you get? Sporks.
That's what I said. Yeah, sporks.
Yes.
SPROX.
Sporks. X.
Space
I like
sporks.
that. Yeah. Elon Musk would do sporks with the X.
Little.
Yeah.
The spoon and the fork.
Yeah.
All in one.
That would be cool.
And you'd be eating your.
Eating our gelatinous.
With your gluten-free bun.
Right. Why not?
You know, just like everything, though, they don't have a lot of vegetarian options on here. It's really pissing me off. I'm going to call, once we get back to Earth, I'm going to call and complain to Space Force that they need better vegetarian options on the complimentary escape pod menu.
Yeah, you'd think the replicator would be able to make anything vegetarian, right?
Yeah.
Why? I don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
According to those guys, they do have replicators in there. I mean, I was just like, wow. Not since the blueprints of the Enterprise have I been like, holy crap, someone's thought this through very, very, very well. I mean, you got to think of these things when you're joining the Space Force.
You got to think of all your options. Because, you know, Ensign Jason gets hungry. You know, Ensign Jason maybe wants, you know, maybe some nice fries or something.
Ensign Jenkins.
Space fries? We got to look out for Ensign Jenkins.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he's
new to the Space Force.
Well, he's also gluten intolerant, and he has something, I don't know why, but he has something against quiche.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's a bad childhood thing. I don't know, but we got to look out for Ensign Jenkins. Maybe he's our third guy. Because if we get in trouble and we need to shove someone out of the pod, it's got to be him. So we bring in the third.
You know what,
Ensign
Jason?
Jenkins. Yeah.
You know what I heard?
What?
I heard Space Station X9 has fresh donuts.
Really?
Bye-bye.